keyboard or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one. I'm totally screwed if that's the case.
Yeah.
All right. So we go and reset everything, and then maybe stuff start working again. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm gonna practice
Jared, are you
talking
trying to
here.
listen to us talk?
Yeah, he's trying to do something. But it's really nice to see you, Jared. I'm really happy that everyone's here. Ryan, it's really nice to see you're smiling, not red face anymore.
Yeah.
You guys turn the Christmas tree off or what?
No, I got this ring light on, so it's just like a giant.
It's so much whiter.
light.
Yeah, it's a bright
Yeah.
white.
Does yours
Yeah,
not
it's
have
very
Very
different
bright. and-
different colors?
Yeah, it does, but this like works best with the light in this corner. So
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
that
I know that.
Elgato ring light, but if I spend $200 on an Elgato ring light, my wife will kill me.
Ooh, that's
Oh.
a lot.
You have to start making TikToks if you do that.
I'll make a TikTok. Make a what is it? I call it. I say it to Tiffany. Your talk ticks. Your talk ticks and your
Oh,
snap
man.
faces. Snap books. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Talk ticks and your snap books.
All right, so we are officially live.
We
Ooh.
are live.
I
The
should.
tweet went out before we were actually live.
Which is fine.
You
It
probably need
happens,
to-
you know?
I deleted that one, so
We
did we?
deleted the tweet.
No, I deleted that VOD because it was only live
Yeah.
for 4 seconds.
Oh, I just have it set to go on the yeah. Just push the button again.
We're good, dog.
All right, cool.
Ooh. No, I'll focus though.
Yeah, so I just have the link going to our
Are you
it
dubs?
just goes to our like homepage or whatever.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you get what I am saying?
Mm-hmm.
Goes to YouTube
I
page.
get what you're
and
throwing
they
down.
can click on the video that says they're live,
Yeesh.
and there's one person watching. So.
Yeesh. Probably cousin Cody.
Hey, we appreciate him. All right. Don't do that to me, man. I was hoping it was cousin Cody.
Jared, talk so I can check your level here,
I'm
Zencaster.
talking again right now. And
Is your stuff right in there? Have you checked it?
I'll check it again. Yes.
I don't see your squigglies, but that's not always
Oh,
indicative of
it
anything.
changed on me. All right. Does I got
I see the
squigglies?
squigglies.
I got
now?
squigglies now.
All right.
All right.
That could have been a nightmare right there.
For some reason, it switched to my headset that doesn't have a mic on it.
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah.
All right. Are we ready? If so, I'm gonna start this music.
Yep. Just give me. I'll watch it and unmute.
All right. I'm gonna start the recording in 3, 2, 1. We are live for episode 37 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Thursday, November 12th. I'm not Ryan Fox, here with my fire team, Jared.
Hey, I'm fresh out of just grinding legendary lost sectors, trying to get nothing manacles for a 3.0 void.
And the Chronicler himself, Chad Ocero.
Been doing a lot of reading and a lot of bounty stacking, and I think I'm pretty much set on that front to not do that again for another month.
Yeah, I've also started the bounty stack myself. I think I've got about 95 or 100 stacked up total so far, so I still got a while to go. But remember, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can take us on the road, Spotify, iTunes, other podcast services. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend requests, join the Discord server. Jared, let's just get right into it, man.
All right, this week at Bungie, December 2nd, we got 30th anniversary. We got Moments of Triumph. We got some Trials talk, and we've got some quality of life updates. But before we get on to that, it's time for a little charity event, and that is a game to give. This is the third time Bungie's doing this. So from December 2nd to the 15th, there's going to be there'll be multiple fundraising streams, and there are prizes for everyone for various milestones reached in the community and for your personal donation if you choose to. So if you choose to give $10 to less than 20, you'll get the Lightkeeper's emblem. If you give 20 to less than 35, you get the new Arc emblem. And then if you do from 35 to less than 50, you get the High Five exotic emote. If you give 50 plus, you get the Althrux Pura MK1 exotic ship. So if you do the $50, get the ship, you get the emote and the two other emblems also. So it goes for otherwise, like if you do the $20 tier, you get both emblems. So there'll be multiple people streaming and making probably some cool little milestones. Like, I've seen people they do some crazy haircut or shave half their beard off, or their beard becomes a different color if they reach. There's so much money raised during their streams. So we do some cool stuff. Go out there and support and watch. And what this cause is for is to improve the health and well-being of children, uplift the rights of all individuals and communities, and then provide aid in terms of crisis. So, all kinds of things. There's always sick kids that need help. That seems like one of the things Bungie focuses on a lot of the time is helping kids, and also just like anybody in need, they also come to help. It don't matter if they're in the United States. They did the Australia fires there a while back. I think it was early 2000.
They did a COVID one too.
Yeah,
I remember.
So
and then they've done the what is it, like iPads for kids or something?
Mm-hmm.
That was
yeah. So they're usually always trying to help out.
They're always, it makes it a lot easier to give the money.
Absolutely. All right, so go out there and try to find a stream, or if you choose to donate, you get some something to show off in the fire team or in the tower. All right, before we get into the stuff that's actually probably pretty cool, Trials Freelance. It's going to be going on this weekend. So that's December 3rd to the 6th. That 6th is the reset. It's a reset day. And again, it's coming back December 31st to January 3rd. So they're changing up just a couple things here. One is you need to own. Well, you always had to own Beyond Light to get into it, and then now you need to be a minimum of 1290 power in order to get in and play. This is going to be a separate node from the normal trials. So if you go to the trials, you see that little small circle, usually to the top right. That's the freelance playlist. So if you want to, it usually comes with double rewards, which they didn't say there's actually doing that this time, but there's not double experience, I guess. So if you're still chasing Messenger or Asuria's Wrath, you'll go in there and get a couple of engrams to focus them. This weekend you can do it solo. There's kind of not much going on until Tuesday, so if you have some extra
Yeah.
time.
No, this is a good weekend. Hey, Jared, you might want to leave the call and try to come back. You're kind of stuttering around a little bit. Um, but yeah, this would be the loot's pretty good. So, I personally am kind of sitting on some stuff, trying to wait around and see what I want to focus on my engrams towards. I might even carry some over into next season. Chad, have you focused all that you have, or are you kind of
No,
holding out as well?
I think I still got like Saints still got 5 or 6 engrams chilling for something that I want to get. But I haven't played Trials in a minute. The freelance playlist is one which is good for me, and because even if these guys aren't on, I can sit there, put on some music, put on some Netflix, and just kind of zone out and do my thing. And since I know it's 1v1v1 or 1-1-1v1-1-1, um, it's not as sweaty to me personally. Because even if the other team's doing well, I'm like, man, those guys are really good. Because if a team of 3 randoms with no communication and maybe team chat can pull together and do above a certain threshold of goodness in that game, I'm like, yeah, no, those guys are great. I'm not beating them, so no sweat off my back there. I'm just gonna let it ride and get some practice in. But yeah, I got 5 engrams chilling, waiting for something that I really need, um, so that I can I still need a better Rees regret. I need that. I don't think I've gotten one with it can come with Vorpal, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or Fire in
I
Line.
haven't seen yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen either of those. So
Mhm. Yeah, they talked to previous tribes about trying to balance the teams better going forward. They didn't mention it in this one, but hopefully that is there, that the teams are more balanced instead of just completely random on who's on what team. All right, guys, Moments of Triumph 2021. It's back, but this time not along with Solstice of Heroes, so it's gonna be a little bit different. But we have some extra to celebrate, and that's Bungie's 30th year anniversary. So just we're gonna be partying twice as hard then. So what's going on here is that there's gonna be in-game rewards and loot to earn. Well, I wouldn't say loot, but it kind of is. You get a sparrow, a ghost shell, and then a pretty cool looking emblem. So typically you have to go back and do some raids, do some dungeons.
Yeah, last time it was a little different because we were getting ready to lose everything to the Great Sunset. So, uh, we we lost. We were losing the raids and everything. So remember they had that really cool like black emblem that has the raid logo on it that you got for doing all the raids. And I believe they were giving out like the callus emote where you're like sitting on the hammock and stuff. So all the cool stuff that came out of those raids, they were kind of giving away in the Moments of Triumph. So I know it was typically um, there was some stuff with like solstice armor, basically do every activity from that year is basically what it kind of ends up to be. So I imagine that there will be something for the Presage mission, something for the Hawk Moon mission, uh, probably the master version of the Shattered Realms. Maybe you think it'll be that hard, or just a regular version? Complete all the Shattered Realms, maybe.
I
So
sure hope
I don't
not.
know. The honest, it's probably leaked out. Truth be told, I haven't went around digging for it, but I don't know. I can't imagine it'll be too difficult to do.
yeah, I don't think any of that info's in the API yet. So come December 7th when everything gets downloaded and all that stuff gets figured out, we'll probably have more news on that front. But yeah, I think it's gonna probably be like do like an activity with the fire team, do like the oh god battlegrounds, do a run in battlegrounds, do a hunt, do a this, do a that, and all that stuff throughout the year. I don't think it's gonna be as hard as like do the master versions of anything. There might be something, for that. Like it'll be like a little extra thing if you really want to do it, but I don't think that's the case. They can't do anything special like they did last year because all the raids were leaving, so they did that because of that. So it's gonna be a lot smaller, but they're probably gonna tie a lot of it to the 30th anniversary pack, the free thing. So there's probably gonna be for the 6-man activities free, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna
Right.
tie a bunch of triumphs to that. But who knows? We don't really have much news on anything, so
Yeah.
we'll find
So
out.
did it mention if this was like a free thing or not? I don't
Triumph
remember
is
seeing it.
Triumphs is always a free thing.
So they couldn't even really put stuff like the Hawk Moon and Presage. They couldn't even put that on there because that was season content stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like season pass stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
And what about the expunges? What about those? Were those paid or
That's-
could you do those free?
That's seasonal content.
Yeah,
What about
the
like Coria,
expunges.
like killing Coria or whatever?
That's
Was
a
did you have to
seasonal
pay
one.
to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an expunge,
I
man.
don't know. Yeah.
I mean those Bottle Glass, which was free to play, so it's probably gonna be something tied to that. Maybe do a challenge inside of Bottle Glass or something like that.
Hopefully those are retroactive.
I doubt it, but yeah, we can all hope. So there's some stuff to earn in game, and then also there's a title to earn. That would be the MM. Hold on, we'll get this right. Why did I just lose it on my screen?
MMXXI.
There it is. Yep. Seal and title. So you have to do certain triumphs to get that unlocked. And usually when you get that title, it unlocks like T-shirt or something like else in the Bungie store. So that's basically going to be the same thing again.
Yep.
You have to unlock, do stuff in game to unlock it in the Bungie store. It looks like they got a strange coin for you to buy. And
yeah.
And then of course the Monster Triumph T-shirt, and then the seal and the pin. I see some people that's like collected a lot of the actual seal pins and like have them like up on a banner. If you actually took the investment time and got all of them done, that looks cool. But there's a lot of tiles I don't take the time to do.
T-Pro.
What? You all not froze for me.
Yep.
Okay.
But no, I agree with Jared. They did sell like a hex grid that they had on their store that you could buy that has like space for all the pins and stuff. That looks actually pretty neat.
I thought that was just for the Bungie employees.
No,
got
it was on the store. They had like
Was it on the
it was a
store?
limited run of those for the hex grid itself.
I got you.
But
Ah,
I
that-
mean that strange
yeah,
coin.
I saw-
I might put real coin on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. If there's one thing, that I think that would maybe be it. It depends. How much would you pay for it?
Yeah. See, I wouldn't pay enough for it. Is the issue? Maybe $1 horn. It's probably going to be. I think it's going to be like $49.99. Is probably what it's going to be. It's going to be some. It's going to be something.
Hopefully, it's really heavy at least.
Yeah, it's like a good weight. That's what I'm hoping.
Absolutely.
I have a
I think
strange coin.
next. What?
Yeah. So in this deck of cards, that's Destiny deck of cards, there's a strange coin that's inside. I've never opened the box.
That's sealed.
Yeah.
It's sealed.
I never opened it.
Open it up.
No.
Let's do an unboxing.
No.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
Unbox that.
Okay, hold on. No. So ignore Ryan. What's the weight on that box? Because we know it's a deck of cards and the strange coin. So like, well, I mean, you don't have to actually look for a weight, but like, does it have like a good? Is it a can of spam?
It's not over a pound.
Okay.
Does that weigh more or less than a can of tuna?
I think it's pretty spot on right there, a can of tuna.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, that strange coin looks cool.
How do you know? I mean, I wish I could see the strange coin that you have.
Ryan, nah.
I talk about the one that's.
If you want to see one,
the
buy
TWAB.
it.
All you have to do is do the Nightfall. You get 9 of them.
Oh, if only. All right, so we talked about quality of life. We talked about currency a little bit with Strange Coin back in Destiny 1. Well, Glimmer is something that's been around since the beginning. And finally, they're taking away the cost of Glimmer to switch out armor mods. Man, this
Yes.
is wonderful. I read this and just made me smile and just think about not having to run the spider or like see what ships I can dismantle to flip some mods around and stuff like that. This is great. And what the biggest thing about this opens the door for third-party apps and building loadouts.
Yep.
I already seen a lot of them
Mhm.
tweet out. I seen Dim already saying that I can't wait for you all to load in on December 7th and see what they have prepared for you. So I'm gonna have to learn how to use Dim loadouts. I never bothered using
Yeah.
it because you couldn't change the mods with it.
Yeah.
Have you all ever?
Yeah, no, it's I mess with it a little bit just to see, because it's really good for getting distributions for your stats. But yeah, like you said, you'd have to get like the armor set up and then get it transferred over, equipped, and then you can have to go while you're in game and change the mods. But with this, you'll be able to preset all that stuff.
Mhm.
So it'll move the armor, equip it, and then change out the mods. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that, because we'll actually like like Jared said, I never spent a lot of time in there doing it. I did do it a couple times just to see what kind of distributions I could get for like some for some trials a little bit, for some day one raids. I did a little bit just to see what armor I had that I could mess around with. But you can't really do much more than that, because you can't do anything else. All you can do is see what stat distributions you can get on your armor, and that's the maximum you can get. That's all you can do. But with this change, we're gonna be able to actually make and save some loadouts, and that's real exciting.
I messed around with the one on Dim a little bit, and it was a little cumbersome, a little clunky. And then the what was it, D2 armor picker, like that website came, and it worked a lot better for me because you could specify like how many mod slots you wanted to use for like stats. So using that, you're able to build your loadouts that way. So I really like that. It's I'll try to remember to post it in the description, the links to both Dim and the other site. And if you're interested, you can check those out.
Yeah, I'm sure some people will be coming out with YouTube videos of how to build your loadouts inside of Dim. If not, Dim actually showing videos themselves doing it. I'm just thinking, I'd love to have like a Titan Ursa build for GMs. Just go in, push the Titan, put that on, easily have that ready to go, because that's not a character I spend a lot of time on. A finished
Yeah, that'd be
protocol
really
build
nice.
for a Warlock, Lunafaction build, for DPS strategy. But yeah, I think the quality of life is going up in Destiny, and Bungie is they're pretty great for those third party apps, and they just really help complete the game in a way that Bungie's just unable to do right now. So they're giving thanks to them, and they're giving those people a special emblem called a parallel program emblem. So if you see somebody running around with that, maybe give them the heart emote in game, or try to give them a hug emote in game or something like that, because they took the time out to make
Teabag 'em.
something.
Respect Neil.
Respect
Okay.
Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you'll see some of those going around, and they've definitely. I couldn't tell you how many times I went to play Destiny, and I just used Dim every time, and then some reason Dim's down for like any extended amount of time. I just didn't know what to do. I just I only had the weapons on my character, so I'm not gonna go run to the vault and try to move stuff back and forth from character to character.
Right.
It's just like
No.
either I got it or I ain't using it. So all
Yeah,
right.
this isn't D1 vanilla days. We're not going back
Oh,
and forth
God.
here.
God, don't even talk about that, man. Back in the day when you had 3 of every weapon just so you didn't have to go to the vault.
Yep. All right. So we got a few other patch notes that's coming on Tuesday. Photo sensitivity changes. So there's people with, I think it's called, you have epileptic episodes. Is that what happens whenever like bright, shiny lights go on?
Yeah.
So they're trying to take some of
that's
that
the
down.
warnings they put in front of the videos sometimes and stuff.
Yeah. So they're going to take away some of those throughout the game. So there's a whole bunch of those. It goes from screen explosions all the way down to some arc abilities, the way they go on in the on the screen. So this will just taking some of that out of the game. Maybe that can even improve some people's frame rate if some too much stuff's going on the screen. Next thing is blind well is getting a change. That Dreaming City weapons will now drop more frequently upon successful blind well completions. This is probably like 2 years too late for this change, but they're putting it in there now for for people coming back to the game and playing that Forsaken campaign for free. I guess like I don't remember that campaign very well, but I imagine you did have to go into the blind well to do some things to get through the campaign. So maybe there's people just get some extra weapons as we're playing through. Next thing,
I remember having to go to that blind well a lot.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it seems like I spent a lot of time in the blind well.
Every week, well, you need to do 2 tier 3s with the overcharge to get to go see the queen. If she's there.
I remember when tier 3s were impossible.
Yeah, that's back in the day with the Aquila shotgun was meta. All right, next thing it's coming back now. Exotic weapon ornaments. Usually you have to go to the Eververse store and then see it in the store and decide to buy it or not. Where now you can just be able to go to the weapon that you have equipped. Say you got Hawkmoon on, right? And you tab down to equip an ornament. Well, you notice that you have an ornament there's an ornament there that you haven't owned yet, and you can purchase it right there for silver. So Hawkmoon has 4 ornaments now, and another one just got added this season. So if you see it and you're like, well, I want to complete the collection, you don't have to go find it in the Eververse store. You just right there on the weapon. And a weapon that's finally getting an ornament that we voted on is the Monarch. It's finally getting an exotic ornament. And it looks pretty cool, Chad. I'm pretty sure you're the one that voted for it.
I definitely did, because I think it's one of the few exotics that doesn't have any ornaments whatsoever. I know that there's a lot of people giving it some hate because it's like chrome and purple, and it's like, yeah, it's poison, so purple. And then the silver chrome look, it looks sleek. I like the original better than the ornament, but I'm happy that there's another option for some people that might like it more. I just like the Black Army aesthetic in general. Like my Jotun, I've never purchased an ornament for that because I like the original Jotun.
Yeah.
But it's nice that they gave people options. It isn't the direction I would have gone with it. But it is a cool one. I would have gotten more OG, like Poisoned Arrow kind of vibe on it. But they went more futuristic with it.
Yeah.
But it's it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad that they put it to a vote and that everybody made the right choice, and that we got it. We actually got something.
And now, Fox, did you submit a screenshot to Bungie? Because the person that they submitted a screenshot for the Hawkmoon buying a new ornament has 10,000 silver. So is that you?
Not, well, busted. No, I haven't actually bought any silver in a minute. I'm kind of hoping that they bring the heat here with our anniversary edition, because it's burning a hole in my pocket at the moment.
You didn't drop all that server on transmog material so you can transmog everything?
Oh no, I would rather. Man, there's We won't even get into that right now. There's
Yeah. We're good, Ryan.
we've
Leave it at
hashed
that.
that out. We've hashed it out.
All right, we got a few more changes coming, and the next one is to rusted lands, and basically a bunch of objects wasn't spawning, like barrels and bricks and exploding objects. So now they're actually going to be there. The next thing is changes to the corrupted strike, and this is like what 2 months in a row nerfing this strike in some way. The main point here is to reduce the overall length of the strike and make it less painful after hard wipes, especially in the elevator encounter. So what they did, they removed the taken combatants in the dark ascendant plane hallway leading to the elevator. And then
So all the phalanxes and minotaurs.
Yep. So there's some other changes they did. There's a whole bunch of them. Like stuff wasn't operating right. There was like enemies spawning off a platform and falling. Whenever the part 1 of the damage phase on the boss, like the ads were spawning on top of each other, so now they're spreading them out. So they're going to try to make this strike more enjoyable, and it's probably the least completed strike in Destiny 2's history. People load in and just leave, including myself.
That and Exodus crash.
Yeah, especially on Arction's day. There's no way I'm playing through Arc.
No, it's definitely not.
Speaking of Arctions, Chad, everybody's favorite Titan boots. They're gonna get a little fix. Doom Archers.
Yeah.
You know about that double chaining off dead enemies. It's just it can be a headache to play against. So what's going to happen here is like once a player is hit by Doom Archer's lightning chain, it cannot be hit again for 2 seconds. And then Doom Archers are now only going to chain against live targets, no longer on the dead bodies.
Excellent.
They're still going to be used. They're still going to be...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's
really
still
good.
an amazing effect. But it's no longer going to absolutely fry you when there's nobody nearby just because Ryan's body is right there. And it's attacking me when I'm like, there's nobody here, and then I'm dead. I wholeheartedly agree with that change. I didn't really use them because they're just ridiculous. I've been hit by them plenty where I'm like, I'm not gonna do this to other people. That's just it's unnecessary. Seeing a Titan just coming in, whoosh, hitting the ground, scattering people, and all of a sudden there's lightning going on everywhere. It's well deserved. It's the 2 second time is hopefully long enough for the electricity to dissipate, and then just being able to not chain against it. So if somebody dies from it and then they go flying, their body won't trigger other people. So that's A+, 100%. I'm good with it.
They didn't say anything about it how it triggers through walls, so you're still going to get some shady arc to you. All right, Chad are touching another Titan exotic, Icefall Mantle, and did you ever like these things?
I loved them, man. What I do is I just sit there, I'll activate them, and then I'll start up my heir apparent, and I'm a monster, baby. You ain't ever hit my HP.
Well,
but yeah, they're making it so that you can actually cancel the overshield by pressing the class ability again. So if you activate overshield, wipe out the room, and you still have half of that overshield, cancel it and move on. It's awesome. It's awesome. Having that activate and deactivate on command is going to be great, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to make it a lot more usable to a lot of people for sure.
I think these actually paired with Diamond Lance might be something like just to keep in your back pocket in case maybe a raid activity where you need somebody just to lock down an area and just be able to just actually be a tank and just take out ads with stasis. So I think that'd be pretty cool. All right, just a little footnote here. There's going to be a whole list of patch notes that come out on Tuesday. Expect a full list of grenades, melees, and other abilities, timers that was not covered in the TWAB, the previous TWAB. So like all your grenade cooldowns that we were having question of, are they getting more damage? Are they getting less damage? It's a timer going up, going down. So it's going to be a novel on Tuesday, and probably expect some downtime as these updates are getting rolled out, and you probably have some time to read through the patch notes if you called off work that day to get through the content.
Thursday is going to be a big podcast next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
I definitely noticed they only put the Titan exotic changes on here. That's clearly for a reason. They're just like, hey, we'll give you a little teaser, a little taste of what's going to happen to these things.
Saving the best for last, baby.
Yeah.
So I think next thing on the TWAB was talking about the crossplay text chat. So for you console players, us on PC, we are able to hit the enter key and then type to each other. You can type to your fire team, you can type local, and you can also type to your clan. So we used it mostly in raids, specifically the Vault encounter in Last Wish and the Atheon encounter, where there are callouts that you need to remember. We just kind of hit enter and type it in there, and we don't have to keep repeating it over and over and over. Previously, you guys were unable to see that. I know we play with Cousin Cody, who plays on his Xbox Series X quite a bit, and he wasn't able to see it. But starting on the 7th, you guys will now be able to opt in and see that chat. Come Witch Queen, console players will be able to connect a keyboard in order to be able to chat back. However, it mentions this specifically, it will not be able to be used for movement of your character. So another quality of life thing, I think that once you get used to it, it took us a little while to start using it, but now we use it fairly often. It's also pretty nice to be able to message all the people in the clan that are online and be like, hey, does anybody want to join up to run this nightfall or whatever? A lot of times we're able to fill spots that way pretty quickly as well.
and then finally, when you run in strikes and the other two blueberries are 5 miles behind you and you don't know what's going on, you all actually see me now. It's like, hey, quit being slow and get through the strike so we can get 3 of them done and get out. So, if you're opted in, just be aware that the shade's coming. All right. Twitch bounty emblem. I think that one's been around for 2 years. It's like a purple thing, and you got a shader with it. So now there's going to be a new emblem on December 16th. Go to your favorite creator on Twitch and make sure they have the Destiny icon thing linked on their screen, and then you can gift 2 subs, and you can go to Man Holiday and collect the emblem. There's some extra steps you got to do. Make sure your Bungie account is linked to your Twitch account and stuff. So make sure you have to follow all those steps in order for the 2 gifts to take hold onto your account.
You also got a pretty sweet purple shader last time you did that too. I can't remember what it was called, but I really liked it.
All right, that's pretty much it for the TWAB. They covered again all the stuff that's leaving Xbox Game Pass on the 7th, or on the 8th. On the 8th, it's leaving. So the big thing that's been talked about is the middle tree class supers. So basically, if you purchase any major expansion, you will have the middle tree supers. So, and then Fox, you're losing your 10% off silver purchases. So, if you want to stock up, you might need to log into the Xbox.
No. So my daughter has been using the one remaining Xbox that we have, and I did log on to it the other day because I have 1,000 silver trapped on the Xbox platforms. And man, I bet it, and this is even with an external SSD on that thing, I bet it took 2 minutes to go from the splash screen to character select. It was a nightmare. It was, yeah, I think that silver's just trapped. I think we just got to kiss it goodbye.
You can't load in by 1 exotic ornament for 700 silver.
Well, if you do see, here's the deal. If you do that, then you have 300 left over, and then that 300's trapped on there. So you got to hit it at an exact amount. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on.
So waiting
There's
on
like packs of armor you could get that are if you have the right pieces missing, you can get get them for 1,000.
I think the play is to wait until a new armor set comes out that's 1,500 silver, and then just buy 500 to go with that 1,000 that's on there.
okay.
And then I think that's the play. So, trust me, boys. I've been working the math. Don't you worry about that. Been working it. I did try. Now this is so. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into this, but I did attempt to download Destiny 2 off of the Windows Store to see if I, because I'd rather just download it onto my computer if it uses the same thing as opposed to turn the Xbox on. I'd rather just log on through the Windows Store and go in that way. But because I didn't have Game Pass, it was doing something weird where it said I already own the game because I guess I have it on Xbox, but it wouldn't let me download it off of the store. It was doing something really weird. So I don't know if anybody else has ever had that trouble, but if you know the fix to that, send us a message on Twitter at DestinyCCPod and let me know how you fix that.
Okay, so that pretty much completes the TWAB. Not a whole lot was given out about the 30th anniversary that's coming on Tuesday, and I think for most of us, we was hoping to see something, right? Of like breaking down of what activity brings what, and like expect these weapons to drop or something like that, and we didn't see it. But we did get something on
Oh.
Steam.
Oh yeah, there were what was it? 3 new pictures? 3 new pictures, I think it is. That
I
were
think they
posted
were
on the
a
Steam
few
page.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 that were important enough for me to remember anyway. And one of them you could see the backs of these Guardians, and you could make out some weapon details pretty easily on a phone, and zoom in and pull that whole enhance thing on there, and we got some action on a rifle, and another one that looks more purpley, and it's reminiscent of something from a Microsoft game. And it's very exciting. There's lots of ideas on what they are. um One of them looks like it could be a pulse rifle that has been given a special treatment. And we know pulse rifles were based off of for Bungie anyway. And another one looks kind of like a trace rifle, trace E enough, I guess a little bit. And people, lots of ideas go in there. I think it looks closest to a fusion rifle from my Halo days. But it's definitely there's a lot of weapons on backs, lots of Aya's Luna in hands, and lots of things that we can infer. There was another one where there was from the front shot, and it looked like a Matador. There was a guy holding a shotgun. It looked like a Matador 64.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we have not been given a definitive number on how many legendary weapons are coming. And so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Always excited to watch Ryan be super mad about not having vault space. I got
Hey,
plenty.
we have a solution to that coming up later in the show. Uh, the other thing that we learned was the name of the dungeon, correct?
I think they gave out the name of the activity, didn't they? I don't have the Steam page up, of
No,
course,
no, they did. Um,
because I know what was it. Dares of Eternity
Was it like
was the
grasp of
6-man.
avarice? Grasp of
Ooh,
avarice, maybe?
it has to be. Of course, it's 3 words.
yeah, hold
Sorry
on.
about that. I had to hit the cough button. I'm pretty sure it's grasp of avarice. And then I had to look up what avarice meant, and it meant like greed. So, which kind of follows. It also gave the little thing that it has something to do with a guardian and a loot cave, and going in, and like they became consumed with the loot or the greed of loot or something. So some pretty interesting stuff going on there. Makes me wonder where that dungeon is going to be set at, and maybe what kind of enemies we might be looking to face in that dungeon as well.
Yeah. So actually, something here is the Dares of Eternity. Like in the moments of trial, it says between your dungeon runs and your adventures in Dares of Eternity. So
Yeah.
is what you
So Dares
said.
of Eternity is the 6-man,
Mm-hmm.
and Grasp of Avarice is the dungeon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what kind of enemy we're gonna face in the dungeon, but
There was something on the Insta, and it was a Wheel of Fortune of enemy types. And there was a very interesting one, which was the basic hive symbol and then the Oryx hive symbol
oh
on the
yeah,
pie, because there was a pie
yeah.
of 5. There was Fallen, there was Vex, there was Cabal, there was Hive, and then there was Oryx hive, which I'm assuming is just taken.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
I think it's just taken because he's the Taken King.
Yeah.
Um, but there wasn't any Scorn, so he learned from the Drifter. Don't put the Scorn in there. They're jerks.
And then
But yeah, I'm excited. He
All
had the
right.
shiny horse.
All right, I have it. I have it here. It says the latest dungeon will be called Grasp of Avarice. Quote, plunder the new 3-player dungeon inspired by famed Cosmodrome loot caves of yore. Reads the Bungie description on the Steam page. Quote, reveal a tale of riches and regret as you follow an adventurer who traded his humanity for treasure. So sounds kind of ominous. So I'm kind of excited to see what that would be. You know, think Cosmodrome. So you'd think maybe Fallen with some Hive, maybe. Kind of what I would think.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean they have most enemy type. The only thing they don't have there is Vex. Because they got Fallen, they got Hive, they got Cabal. We're all in that area now because of the stuff that's going on. So it could be any of the three, honestly, or all three. I'm hoping it's a good mix.
Right.
Because if it's all about greed, give me everything, baby. All the enemies, all the loot, everything.
Hopefully there's a little callus, like just a little teaser,
Like
like
maybe a
something
little
tucked
statue
away.
in a pile somewhere.
Yeah, just like
Yeah, that'd be cool.
just a little wink to callus in there somewhere.
We'll spend our time looking around, or should we just do one run and see how fast we can do it, and then jump in and look around?
Well, interestingly enough, that takes us right into gambling corner. Chad, that's quite the segue you had there. So for gambling corner this week, we'll give you an updated list. Jared has 10,000 glimmer, I have 37,000 glimmer, and Chad has 18,500 glimmer. We consulted with Mr. Vegas, and with the new dungeon, keep in mind we will be going in blind. I'm not sure what time we'll be able to get into that dungeon due to work schedules and stuff. My plan is to save all my close patients for Tuesday. That way I can get home early in order to be able to run the dungeon. I'm sure we'll stream it and all that. I don't know. Do you guys work? Are you guys working Tuesday?
yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. So we'll shoot for the evening then. That works better for me anyway. So we have an over-under. Time to complete the dungeon blind run first night, over under 3 hours. So under is going to be plus 150 and over is going to be minus 200. Jared, since you have the least, we'll have you bet first.
All right. I'm gonna go 2,000 on us to go under, and the reason I say that is particle deconstruction. It's it makes damage phases quite easy. Sleepers getting the buff. Linear fusions are getting the buff. 1K is still great. Rapid hit fusions are still great. I think we're going to be able to melt things super easily because of that. So I think we're going to go under at 3 hours. So 2,000 on plus 150.
Oh man, Jared's copying me, man. I was gonna do 2,000 on under because I believe in us.
Look at me and you, Chad, doing the same thing. How about that?
Gotta keep it,
Who
gotta
ever imagined?
keep it by the book,
All right, Fox. What
And
do
then
you?
what about the not Ryan Fox man?
Oh, so you guys, Chad, you really are just betting the same
Yeah, of
thing?
course. Hell yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking already. As soon as I saw
Goodness
that on the
gracious.
docket, I'm like, that was my get. That was what I was gonna say, regardless of what Jared said. So it just happened to coincide, like usual.
I think it's going to be a slide over,
Okay,
like a very, very slight over.
like a 3 and 8
Um,
or
yeah,
10.
like a 3 minute, yeah, like a 3 minutes and 11 or 3 hours, 11 minutes,
You
something
talking a
like that.
24:02?
Yeah, yeah. What kind of idiot would get a 2402? So, since I say that, I'm gonna say I'll bet 5K. I'll bet 5K on the over.
Okay.
Mm.
And then that will that'll be to win 2,500 and to pay out 7,500. Sorry, I'm trying to put this in our docket here.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's gonna be fun. Dungeons are always like Jared and mine. We love dungeons. Dungeons
Mhm.
are great
Yeah.
because we can go 3 man, you can go 2 man, and you can go 1 man.
Mhm.
Sorry, one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's a fun challenge as a 3 person, 2 person, or 1 person, no matter what. So I'm definitely gonna have a lot of fun in there for week 1 for sure. I'm gonna be memorizing as much stuff as possible, running people through whatever. I'm hoping it ends up like Prophecy, where you can grind drops.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Because then I'll be able to run us through, run my homies through, run their homies through, and just get the runs flying while everybody's in the fever pitch of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and get drops at the same time, because that'd be great. If it's the same as Prophecy, if that's the level that they keep things at for the dungeons from here on out,
Mhm.
100%. I love it. I'm there for it, and it gives much more incentive to Sherpas. So that's the hope. That's the hope. I can get at least one good drop from the 3 runs that we do. That way I can run into it again
Right.
on the grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about like
So
the hype of the game, Chad, and like people wanting to get in and do the dungeon, and it's tied to the 30th anniversary event. It's talking about Bungie's history. My concern is that people's going to see this and like say they haven't really been playing Destiny 2. They're like, hey, I want to get in and see what this is about, and want to play the new dungeon, and they're not going to be high enough light level, or is the light level going to be lower for the normal mode? And if we get a master mode, then that would be upper. So I can see a little backfire happening week 1 of people like coming into this game that haven't been there and wanting to do the anniversary stuff and have to grind for a couple weeks to get the light level up.
I think the benefit right now for them is that the way this is dropping is they don't have to make it a pinnacle drop because of the fact that it's not starting out a season. Since it's not new content. Now they can change that down the line. They can make the light level change and make it the pinnacle drop dungeon once Witch Queen comes in. But for right now, since it's dropping season 0.5, it doesn't have to be pinnacle anything. So they can make it still hard. But since it's not dropping pinnacle drops, they don't have to make it GM levels like 1350s 1360s enemies. They don't have to do that because they don't have to worry about people hitting it and getting a bunch of extra pinnacles. So I'm hoping that they make it like a maybe like a master strike levels, because most people can do a master strike. If you have 2 people that are good and 1 person that you're carrying through, you'll have no problem on a master nightfall. Um, I'm hoping that's what the case is, but we don't know. Again, we don't have much information other than names now.
DMG did confirm it
Which I
is
guess this
dropping day
is
one.
it is dropping day
He
one.
said it's dropping day 1, but
Yeah.
that's the most information we got.
Yeah, so if you remember this season, they didn't give us anything until the day before. Well,
Mhm.
Sunday night, a bunch of the screenshot and stuff leaked out from the PlayStation Store, I want to say. But but we didn't have like trailers or anything. They kind of just let us have it. And that 6-player activity, there's been I should have mentioned this earlier. I'm sorry to kind of bounce back to it, but Chad, you mentioned the photos that came out of the Steam store. The one that has the 6 Guardians running in to the area where Zur is standing that you mentioned you can see their
Mhm.
backs. If you zoom in there, you can see there's different chests scattered around that area.
Ooh,
Some
that's
of
the one
them
you can
have,
see him from the front.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can see that some of them, one of them has like a helmet over top of it. One of them has a chest piece over top of it. One of them has a leg piece. There's another photo that shows a sparrow and a ghost, which kind of shows that you're going to be able to choose your reward from that 6-player activity. And then there was also a tweet that says if you purchase the $25 pack, you'll get 2 drops every time you run it instead of just 1. So it's almost menagerie like, kind of from the sounds of it, where you're going to be able to choose your spot that you need the loot in. So you'll be able to target that a little better, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays, in my opinion.
That extra chest is going to be a cosmetic chest.
Probably, yeah.
It's confirmed.
The thorn
Uh,
chest, you think? The thorn one?
The 6-player activity, what Fox was just talking about, DMG
Yeah.
confirmed that's just going to be an extra cosmetic chest. It's not going to be a loot chest.
So cosmetic chest would mean that it's a sparrow, a ghost, or a ship.
Or ornaments, or shaders. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
emblems.
hey, it's a second chest either way.
Yeah.
So can't
Yeah,
complain.
but it does look like maybe you get to pick reward. Maybe you pick the way you like it gets you a slot that you need to help level up.
Mhm.
Is that what you're going for?
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that'll
'cause-
be that'll be nice. Which, I mean, they're not raising level cap, right?
I don't think so.
No,
No.
it's not changing for this. This isn't anything. This is just a season 0.5.
So for us, it's going to be we're going to basically target weapons. So we'll be able to choose that we want a weapon instead of armor, which will, give us, instead of having 3/8 of a chance to get whatever slot to get a weapon, we'll be able to get 1/3. I guess technically to kind of what we want to do. So it'll be nice. It'll be a
Oh, yeah.
nice change. Hopefully it plays out. Hopefully it plays out well, and they're able to get some data and see if this is something that they want to do going forward, as far as being able to target your spots more often.
All right, Chad. Book of Sorrows Part 4.
Oh boy, it's getting back into it. I know we didn't have any lore last week, and I was very sad about that. But we, these other guys have families to get to, so we had to cut it short. But getting back into Book of Sorrow, we left off on the sisters lamenting the fact that they couldn't completely and utterly destroy the Ecumene, I believe it was. And so they were trying to figure out what they could do to destroy them and kill Taux. So getting back into it in chapter 3, verse 4, the scream. No, Savathun, Zivu Arath, my siblings, we are betrayed. We will never live eternal. Our might shatters entire species. We inhale the smoke of their burning. This is our compact with the worm, our god. The worm makes us mighty. But as we wield this might, our worm's hunger expands. If we fail to feed it, it will devour us from within. We have exterminated 306 worlds, and now I am certain. My worm's hunger grows faster than the might I draw from it. We are bound by our covenant to obey our nature, eternal search, eternal cunning, and eternal conquest. But as we do this, my siblings, we feed our worms, and the more we feed them, the hungrier they grow, faster and faster. Soon, my siblings, we will be so mighty and our worms so hungry that not with all our might could we possibly feed them, and we will be devoured. What can we do? Now goes into the perspective of the Dictata Ard Dakawa. Attention! Perimeter security units attend. Stand by to assimilate new imperatives. Gland 60 proof assimilation liquor. Or face immediate non-compliance taxation. The Dakua Ministry of War is now online and true. In radial year 989, our clients of the Dakua Nest salvaged an interstellar spacecraft. Hull isotopes date the craft's construction 24,000 years ago, around the same time the fundament system dropped out of contact with our amiable ecumene. Mercenary explorers discovered an organism frozen in stasis deep within the hull. She claims to be Taux, member of a proto-hive species. During debriefing, she provided records of a fall of the Ammonite civilization and vital intelligence about the motives, biology, and leadership of the hive. Over the past century, perimeter security units of the Ecumene Status Army have failed to halt hive incursions on 17 separate worlds. All species in the Ecumene face extinction. Decapitate, defer, promote Dakua strategic dicta for victory against the hive. Identity Supreme Hive Leadership Organisms, Arash, Sathona, and Zero. Target these entities with maximum theater overkill. Katametric release authorized. Prosecute targets whenever they manifest. Hive cohesion will crumble. Total victory over the hive will be achieved by clean sweep genocide. It goes back to King Oryx. Beneath a green fire sky in the throne world of King Oryx, our lords embrace. We, the hive, watch as Savathun puts her arm around Xivu Arath, and Xivu Arath clasps forearms with Oryx. Oryx takes Savathun by the shoulder. They are huge, huge, and they burn with furious power. But this embrace is weakness, and we despise it. Never before have we despised our lords. Have they failed us? We, the hive, have been driven back world by world. I am at my end, Savathun says. I plot and plan, but I cannot gather enough bloodshed to feed my worm, and the harder I try, the hungrier it becomes. I slaughter and kill, Xivu Arath says, but the harder I fight, the more my worm demands. I too am at my end. The Ecumene War Angels have killed me so many times, Oryx says, that I dare not go out into the universe lest I need my might to protect myself. My worm chews up my soul in hunger. Is this the end of our crusade? Are we the hive unworthy to exist? Xivu Arath puts down her great head. We should retire and gather our strength. Savathun closes her eyes in puzzled defeat. We should beg the worm, our god, to tell us what to do. But King Oryx, who knows best the beauty of the final shape, roars at them. Have you learned nothing? Would you defy our purpose? Whatever we do by killing, by an act of war and might. This is the final arbiter we serve, the violent arbiter. And if we turn away from it, we deserve to be eaten. No, we must obey our natures. We must be long-sighted and cunning and strong. We must take this gift the worm our god has given us, this challenge, and find a way to keep existing. How will we feed our worms? Xivu Arath asks. I know, says Savathun. I know a way. But it won't work unless we are killing the Ecumene by the billions. How can we beat them? If we cannot beat their strength, Xivu Arath says, we must infect their weaknesses. But they are lords of matter and physical law. I know a way, King Oryx says, but it will require great power. More power than any one of us can claim. Then kill me, says Xivu Arath. And use that killing logic, the power you prove by killing something as mighty as me. So King Oryx took up his blade and beheaded Xivu Arath. "And strangle me," says Savathun, holding the blade behind her back. "Use that killing logic and the cunning you prove by killing something as smart as me." But Oryx turned with the speed and might of Xivu Arath and beheaded Savathun before she could move. King Oryx was the first navigator with the map of death. These were true deaths, for they happened in the Sword World. Then he went to the worm named Akka. And then we get to go back to the Ecumene. Emergency imperative. All militarized units detend. Gland 120 proof fight or flight encoding our face certain catastrophic defeat. The Ecumene Crisis Council is now online and true. Attention. As of radial 990 the Hive has launched a staggering counterattack across the Spinward frontier. Perimeter militia shock fleets report total casualties. We anticipate total Ecumene disintegration/extinction within 200 years. The Hive entity, Aurash, is deployed a paracausal ontopathogenic weapon that infects and subverts Ecumene forces. The weapon operates on individual targets. Targets are abducted and returned as compliant Hive slaves with inexplicable and physically illegal abilities. All Ecumene clients should immediately devote all economic and cognitive resources to a countermeasure. Fight hard. We stop the Hive here or see our galaxy devoured. Go back to the Hive. This is the coronation of Oryx, the taken king. It happened thus. In the cold abyss of the Sword World, King Aurash walked under a cloak of green fire. He walked through the sky shuddered and froze beneath his feet. He walked until he found Akka, the worm of secrets who was denying a truth until it became a lie. Akka, my god, worm of secrets, I am Auryx, sole king of the Hive. I've come to receive a secret. I want the secret power of the deep, which you hold. I give no secrets, said Akka, whose voice was code. No, said Oryx, you give nothing. Giving is for the sky. You worship the deep, which asks that we take what we need. Akka said nothing, because if it denied this truth, the truth might become false. But you gave us your larva, your worm, said Oryx, and that is why the worm devours us now, because it was given, not taken. So I must take what I need from you, although you are my god. Said Akka, you have not the strength. But this was a lie. Oryx had killed Savathun, his sibling, and Xivu Arath, his sibling, and he had the sword logic of killing them. Oryx, the first navigator, set upon his god with his sword, and his words cut Akka to pieces, and took from those pieces the secret of calling upon the deep. He wrote this secret on a set of tablets which he called the Tablets of Ruin, and he wore them about his waist. Then Oryx said, now I may speak to the deep, the beautiful, final shape. I will be king of shapes. I will learn all the secrets of our destiny. His speech to the deep is not recorded here, but it is known that he returned and he said, now I am Oryx, the taken king, and I have the power to take life and make it my own. Then he went out into the universe and fought the Ecumene with his tablets, and the worm his god was pleased. Oryx made war on the Ecumene for 100 years. At the beginning of those 100 years, he killed the Ecumene Cancel on the fractal wreath, and from their blood rose Xivu Arath, saying, I am war, and you have conjured me back with war. Oryx was glad, for he loved Xivu Arath. Then Oryx and Xivu Arath made war on the Ecumene for 40 years. At the end of those 40 years, Oryx said to Dakua Nest, listen, I am jealous of my sibling Xivu Arath. Help me kill her, and in desperation they agreed. But he drove them into a trap and made them extinct. From their ashes rose cunning Savathun, saying, I am trickery, and you have conjured me back with trickery. Oryx was glad, for he loved Savathun, and the Ecumene fled into the void. They made war on the Ecumene for 1,000 years and exterminated them so wholly that nowhere except in this book are they remembered. This book and the mind of Taux, who was not found. And Savathun said, King Oryx, how will we feed our worms? Did you use my plan? And so they made a tithing. Each thrall kills and takes what they need, and they feed the acolyte that commands them. The acolytes lead the thrall into battle, feed their worms, and tithe everything they have to the knight or wizard who commands them. Knights and wizards do the same to the ascendant who they serve. And an ascendant who is among the hive who gather enough tribute to enter the netherworld, they will pay a tithe to those above them. And thus the tribute will flow up the chain so that Savathun and Zivurath and myself will be fed by a great river of tribute. And we will use that excess to feed our gods and study the deep. Thus all worms will be fed as long as we continue our crusade. This is my law. Wrath. Behold the wrath of Oryx, coiled for 10,000 years. Behold the golden amputation, the fall of Taishebeth, the end of an age. We beat the worlds of Taishebeth, the skull drums, and we howl in joy for our black war moons. In his throne world, Oryx paces 10 times. On the first pace, Chronicler sends accursed blights. On the second, Tai unleashes their battle plates and arsenal ships to fight our moons. On the third, the war priest meets them in battle, and he is victorious. On the fourth, Mengor and Kraadug go to the Raven Bridge, and they stand and kill the Tai for 10 years. On the fifth, the Tai Emperor Raven comes home to her bridge, and she cuts a moon with her talons. She cuts it open and kills its brood. On the sixth, Oryx speaks, saying, "Listen to me, Emperor Raven." And he puts out his fist full of black fire and swallows up the Emperor with a wound. Only Oryx has the power to take. On the seventh, the perfect Raven comes out of Oryx's wound, spreads her wings, and enacts the will of Oryx. On the eighth, the Tai say, "Listen, you are spoilers, your sphincters and excreta, you rot. Why do you kill?" And with one of her feathers, the Emperor could have tickled the gods. On the ninth pace, Oryx says, "That is only God. This ability to dictate what will and will not exist, this power to go on existing, this is your God. It is never ticklish." On the 10th pace, the Taishabethi are extinct. Oryx went down into his throne world, he went into the abyss, and with each step he read one of his tablets so that they will become like stones beneath his feet. He went out and created an altar and prepared an unborn ogre. He called on the deep, saying, "I can see you in the sky. You are the waves which are battles, and the battles are the waves. Come into this vessel I prepared for you." And it arrived, the deep itself. And we'll leave that there. But I think next week is going to be the last of it. I could probably spread it out a little bit, but now we know how Oryx got his powers and how he absolutely wiped a species out of existence in about 30,000 years ish.
Yeah. So
Do
whenever
what you got to do.
whenever he went to kill Savathun, Savathun was going to turn on him, but she wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a sword behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
But he, at that point, was as strong as himself and Zivu or Wrath.
Yeah.
Like, sped up on her and just sliced her head right off before she could do anything.
So,
So,
everybody knows we killed Oryx in Destiny 1, but so Savathun should not be as powerful as Oryx? Or has she continued to grow, and how she fed
she
her
has
worm
continued
for
to
so
grow.
long?
I mean, it's been we'll get into it more in next week, but this is the first like 40,000 years that they exist as the hive gods they are. And they travel for a lot longer before they get to Earth. So I feel like they even out after a while.
Okay.
So she is probably as powerful as Oryx was, and we did kill him in a throne world. But remember, he also killed Zivu and Savathun in a throne world, and they were conjured back because he did things to make it so. So Oryx, even though he was killed in a throne world, could be conjured back by a people or peoples that navigate and do everything they can to
Shield and bring the shield back to the middle. And whenever that meteor attack was happening, running circles around the platforms and stuff. But yeah, I really like that boss fight. I really like that whole raid. That whole raid's probably my second favorite raid. But I know I'm sure we'll get Wrath back because it's the easiest to bring back. So I think that moves us on to the mailbag, I believe. So we are a minute 11:50 in, or an hour 11 minutes and 50 seconds in. First question. This one's pretty topical. What weapons do you plan to have on your character going into the new dungeon? Well, personally, I will have Whisper ready to roll. I'm gonna have Sleeper Simulant ready to roll. I'll have my Cartesian coordinate ready to go. Divinity, Null Composure, and then I'll probably have like Whispering Slab and maybe Messenger and like Multi-Mock or Extraordinary Rendition is probably like the things I'll be looking at off the top myself.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's probably gonna be the same thing for me for the exotics. I'll probably take in a sword as well for me, just in case it's good. You never know. Dropping a well on a boss with a bunch of laments or 1Ks is always fun. Um, then definitely going with a whispering slab for a primary, a scout, and then the auto rifle is always fun, and then my trusty true prophecy hand cannon. You know, um, I don't really have a great SMG in that slot, but I'll probably grab one just in case it does well. I'll probably have a divinity as well, and maybe a Iggy Azalea or Izanagi's burden on deck just in case. Just in case I need that burst DPS from just me personally, if we get spread out. But I mean, again, I'll have every flavor of fusion for the second slot, which can do very similar to the same thing of what a Izanagi shot would do, just a little slower. But same thing. Probably gonna be running Titan, doing my thing. If I'm not running Ursa's, I will be running Thunder Crash, depending on what the light level's like. If we're sitting at level, probably Thunder Crash just to get a bunch of damage done and take care of any enemies and just have an oh no button for myself. But yeah, that's gonna be my loadout to start with.
Yeah, you all nailed the big ticket items there. You know, I just throw it. Dude, Wither Horde is so good, and you can freeze up your heavy slot to do Threaded Needle. So that combination together is pumps out DPS with the best of them. So, and then also my new Judgment Hand Cannon with the demo Adrenaline Junkie. Definitely gonna have that on if I'm not having Wither Horde on.
My new hand cannon with Adrenaline Junkie and demo. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure you will. So, question number 2. This is very topical. Have you guys seen the video series where Fallout and Datowado go through each other's vault? You guys should do that. Well, ironically, this morning I actually sent a message in our group text to these two fellas. Hey, we should do that for my vault because I'm sitting at 499 out of 500 and 8 out of 9 on every character. I'm not quite. I think I've got my Postmaster cleared out except for like Ascendant shards because last season, as we all know, I lost 40 in like the last 2 to 3 weeks of the season. So I'm kind of ready to go through, and I would like to get to 425. I think 450 is probably more reasonable. Honestly, I've cleared out a lot of weapons already. What I have a lot left of is armor, and that armor is going to be hard for me to get rid of because I've got like different distributions and things that I'm trying to save for like loadouts and specifically like day 1 raid races and things. So we'll see what we get down to, but I'm sure there's some fat to be trimmed at least. So we'll probably, whenever we do that, we will record it and we will upload it. We might even just do it live and we'll see how it goes. And, but that will be content that will go up on the YouTube this week, probably this weekend sometime. We'll do that. Probably be 30, 45 minutes anyway. So, something for you to watch.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed those videos. And hopefully we get a couple roasts in on Fox with something he's got hiding out in that vault he shouldn't have, and you know, I
Well,
think
I'm sure I think I've been pretty thorough at going through because I've
uh
done like 3 or 4 passes at it, but you never know. You know, you might miss something here or there.
yeah, hopefully we get like something as good as that underdog unrelenting. Are you kidding me? Yes, hopefully
Yeah,
we have something as good as
yeah.
that. Um,
I hope so.
yeah, I tried messing with mine a couple times, and I can get it down to like 470, and then it gets right back up to 480 something. So it's I'm
Yeah,
shocked.
my issue's gonna be if we get it down to 450, as soon as I unload off my characters, I'm gonna be right back to 490.
So
So I'd really like to get to like 425, but we'll
mhm.
see how it goes.
a little tip for that I kind of do with myself is that, like, let's say I have like a palindrome that I normally use, or like 2 palindromes, and I'm just going through my vault and I have 4 of them there. I'm like, wait, I know I have more than this, so I make sure you pull over all the weapons that you're comparing to one place, and then trim it down
Right.
from there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep.
All right. Question 3. What change coming on Tuesday scares you the most about the sandbox? All right, so I'm going to think about PvP here for, I'm thinking about sixes, and hunters. Hunters always get a bad rap because that's what you see the most of in PvP. So people get really annoyed very quickly at hunters because they see them so often. And you're about to see a lot of arc hunters with stompies. They will be either running the flux grenade or the arc bolt grenade, and then running top tree where you always have that melee ability up. So you're always going to be able to strike and dodge from like a really far distance. You're going to be seeing a lot of that in a Crucible, and also that super is at a tier 3. That's like one of the fastest charging roaming supers. So get used to it. I mean, just brace for that. It's going to happen. There's going to be a Reddit post within the first week. People complaining about arc hunters. So
I think I'm I'm concerned mostly about like PvP changing PvE. I know they've kind of split the sandbox a little bit, but as a person that cares primarily about PvE, I don't want to have less at my disposal because the PvP crowd is getting upset about something. So we'll see how it goes. But that's kind of been a thing throughout the lifespan of this game. Truth be told.
Chad,
Whatever they said.
okay.
I feel the same way Jared does.
All right, question 4. Any Destiny streamers you guys watch? For me, I watch a lot of Leopard, and he goes by Leopard Stealth on Twitter. He's a guy started out in Halo. He played a lot of Halo starting out, and then he played some Destiny 1 for a long time, and then he whenever Destiny 2 vanilla was quite bad, he took a little break and went over to Fortnite, and then came back to Destiny. So he's a guy, he memes a lot. He does a lot of solo grandmasters, just tortures himself. So it's just a funny chill stream. Not a lot going on. Usually have that on in the background.
Me personally, not a whole lot. I'm more of a YouTube person. I do have some Twitch going. My main issue is I'm usually playing when the heavy content's going, and I don't have any of the Twitch going, so I don't spoil anything for myself, like on the release weeks. So like Tuesday's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be watching any streamers. I'm just gonna read the patch notes over and over again until I get home, and then we're gonna go into that thing blind, and then we're gonna be streaming. But then by the time I'm good and I want to, play and have some other streamers on there, you know, they're gonna be just memeing about doing the 6-man activity or running that dungeon over and over again. I don't watch a lot of the PvP stuff. I'll watch some moments whenever Jared's like, "Hey, are you watching this guy stream right now? Hey, this guy's streaming right now," and I'll be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on over there?" But that's about it. I don't have anybody that I really follow.
I watch primarily PvP in Destiny. Even though I prefer to play PvE, I can do all that by myself. I don't really need to watch other people do it, but I like to watch, unless it's like speedrunners on raids and stuff. That stuff I like to watch because they're getting out of bounds and that type of thing. But as far as PvP, they do stuff I can't do. So stuff like CK Mushroom, Pure Chill, Frostbolt, Sir Demetrius, Cammy Cakes. Um, those are Grenader Jake. Those are kind of some of the people that I watch a good bit play, and they're at a level and they do things that there's no way I'll ever be able to do. I'll never be at that skill level. So that's the stuff that I enjoy watching myself personally.
I do leave my account
And
in
that brings
Grenader Jake's streams so I can try to get carrots for him to carry me one day. So that's usually like
right.
I turn it on that and I just like I'm going downstairs and watching something with my wife or something like that, and then I come up and turn my computer off before I go to bed.
Oh yeah. I got you. I understand that. Last question. This one is kind of topical. Thought it was interesting. I'd like to get my boyfriend something for Christmas that is Destiny related. Do you nerds have any suggestions?
Hey, that wasn't in there. That part wasn't in there.
I added the nerds part myself.
All right.
Actually, I was looking at stuff the other night. My wife sent me some stuff that was on Etsy. That there's like lots of Destiny stuff on Etsy, and there's like really good replicas of like Thorn, Ace of Spades, Hawk Moon
That's what I was gonna say.
for like
Yeah.
A
130,
weapon replica.
150 or something.
Are there I've been wanting to do a good look through their catalog, but is there any good disc plates for Destiny? Because I know disc plate is pretty. It's like that like metal poster that you can just magnet up on the wall, and they have some really good images for other stuff that I've seen. But I'm afraid if I dig into it too much, I'll buy some. So like I haven't looked because I don't want to find what I want. But yeah, if he likes posters, if he likes stuff on the wall, that's a good option. The weapon replicas are always great because those can just be posted up all over the place, somewhere on computer or whatever, on a shelf, on a bookcase. There's for someone like me, the D1 lore is put in Grimoire books. There's 4 of them out at the moment. Those are always a good option. The first one is all hive related, and basically what I'm going through right now, the Books of Sorrow, is all in the first one. So if you want like a really, really nice book that has some pictures and it's just the lore from Destiny 1, if he's into that, that's a really good option.
I think I have all the books. I don't think I have the 4th one though.
It
I
just
think I have
came
the
out
first 3.
recently. I think they just started
Yeah.
shipping it out.
Yeah. My wife got me a Galahorn for Valentine's Day one year. That was pretty sweet.
That's true love right there.
But that's right. That's how I know she loves me. But if I was, what hand cannon would you, or like, would you guys want a hand cannon, shotgun? Chad, yours would probably be the Aaron Till, would probably be the weapon that you would want a replica of.
It's a hard one because I do Aerentil or Midnight Coup would be my 2 options.
Okay. Chad or Jared, what would yours be?
Oh, it's Thorn 100%. Yep.
Thorn?
Yep.
Like
I think
OG or
mine would be-
ornament?
Any of them. Like
Yeah.
it's either OG or the latest ornament that's like the Taken look to it.
Yeah,
It's one of those
that one's
two.
cool. Yeah.
But
think
I actually seen one.
Mine
on,
would be the last word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like my favorite. It sucks so bad that it's for the controller scrubs is who gets to use that gun now. Like I can't use it.
Well, if they make the D1 the opposite version of the last word, you could probably use that on keyboard really well. You remember that one where it was aimed down sights, had amazing aim assist and accuracy. It was just ranged. That thing was I loved that gun. That gun was so much fun.
But that's probably my favorite gun in Destiny is probably the last word. I just think it looks cool. I think like the reload animation's cool. I think I would just absolutely love that gun.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my choice. But I think that brings the show to a close this week. This has been episode 37. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that other stuff. It really helps us get this thing going. We really want to make a big push as we head to the Witch Queen, maybe do a little promotion and things like that. So I'll let these guys sign off.
All right, guys, I'm really looking forward to this 30th edition anniversary, and really looking at IS Luna, and really hoping it has a stock zoom of 15. I think that would be amazing if that happens. So we'll wait and see.
Yep, I definitely want my IS Luna back. I was happy with Ostringer when it came into the game, and I definitely want to get that back in my hands because it just feels great. Hoping that Matador is not a rumor because it does look like Matador, and that was easily my favorite shotgun. But I'm just excited to get my hands on new guns. I mean, whether they're Bungie related or not, just having more stuff to play with, a new dungeon, see if I can solo flawless it by the weekend. See if I can push myself to do it all day Sunday. Just get in there. I don't you shake your head at me, Ryan. You're making me like I do it. But yeah, that's looking forward to next week.
Go Cats. Love you guys.
Don't you shake your head at me, you meanie.